Hi Gemini, this is your forecast for the month of July 2016. This is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, or Gemini Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited the site before, you will need to clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. So Gemini, the first week for you begins with the Magician. So this is an important week for you. It's a major card, and this is the card of the manifester. So this week you've got a lot of personal power and confidence. This is a card of creativity. So you could find that your creativity skyrockets this week. You have all of the resources you need to envision something in your head and manifest it into the physical plane. You're very focused. Some of you may be concerned with mastering something, some kind of special knowledge or skill. This is a week that gives you the ability to make a decision and achieve a goal. So you have a lot of power at your disposal and you're very determined. Now, because you could be solving some problems, it could be that this is a week where it may involve some trial and error, but you're very adaptable and you are open to the opportunities that arrive for you this week. It could be that you are marketing yourself in some way, or maybe you're focused on your self-employment. Maybe you're dealing with technology. Now, for some of you, there could be very important dealings with men this week, ranging anywhere from son, brother, boyfriend, just some important male. Or this could be someone that holds some kind of special expertise in some way, some kind of specialist, somebody that has technology skills, or perhaps a doctor. So some kind of special expertise, or they can use some kind of tools in a special way. But this week you have the ability to use your own willpower constructively to move forward, and you're not afraid to push yourself. So you could very well receive some kind of recognition or get some rewards for your efforts or your services, but you are relying on self, and self is the ticket for you this week. Also, as you approach some kind of success on the horizon, you may feel some kind of anxiety that, success is just within your grasp, and you might have some kind of fear that it's going to disappear before you actually get there. This is not a week for you to be impatient. And Gemini, I know that you have so many interests and so many, your mind is constantly moving, that it could be very difficult for you. But this is not a week for you to be impatient, or for you to be antagonistic or angry and allow that to undermine a situation for yourself, to get in the way of your progress. Also, because this is a card of very focused energy, largely directed at self, make sure that you don't become obsessed just with your own interests in ways that are off-putting to others, where you disregard their feelings or what they think or what they bring to the table. But overall, this is a very positive week for you. Now, the second week is the King of Swords. So this very well could be you. It's an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Or if it's not you, maybe you're dealing with an air sign, or you're just employing the traits of this king. So, of course, all kings allow you to set some kind of new wheels in motion. They give you power. And if you are having to defend yourself in some way, this king is going to allow you some kind of upper hand. He's going to give you either an advantage, or he's going to allow you to, solidly defend your position. So this king is all about using his rationality, his intellectual prowess. He's got authority and command. He's fair in making his decisions. He's capable because he uses his analytical mind. It's a card that's focused with ambition, truth, justice, expertise, acting on your convictions, and being committed, having the strength of character. Now, he is slightly out of touch with his feelings because he's more into his head than into his heart. Now, if you're involved with someone who is exhibiting the negative traits, or you are, it could be that you're being cold-hearted in some way, or too aggressive, or suspicious, or sarcastic, heartless. Now, for some of you, if you're in some kind of partnership or relationship where you are very determined, it could be that what's really holding you back is this reluctance to step forward and make that first move. And you could very well be, have a mutual attraction to someone else, although it may not necessarily last. Some of you will be involved in challenging relationships because you're not being clear about, you're sending mixed signals to one another. But this is a card about, taking the authority to make a decision, and make a decision that's fair and just and, based on facts rather than emotions. Now, the third week, you have the Lover's card. So this is an important week. And you have a lot of Gemini emphasis in this reading. This card ties to Gemini. There's a lot of air in this reading. Also, it appears that there's some kind of dilemma that you're grappling with, some kind of a decision. You're hesitating about acting on something. And this card indicates that you're at a crossroads. There is an important choice to be made. And it probably has to do with partnership in some way. Now, some of you, maybe you're making a decision between two lovers. But there's definitely, you're at a fork in the road and you're having to determine which way to go. Fortunately, this week will allow you the opportunity to repair whatever it is that needs to be fixed or clarified in your life, because this is a week where you have enhanced understanding and awareness of others. So this is going to give you some sense of serenity. And it's possible that this is a week where one or more people are going to enter into your life that prove important to your future in some way. Or perhaps you're reconnecting with someone from your past. You're going to feel this week a greater sense of responsibility, dedication, and you're going to have a certain amount of personal appeal, magnetism, and popularity. So you're going to be able to attract people to you, and you're going to find your interaction with others enjoyable and mutually satisfying. Even if those people have been difficult in the past, or you have a difference of opinion, you will find just the right way to override any kind of challenges or tension in your relationships. Now, what this means is that there are going to be more people that are vying for your attention and your time, And that's going to prove a challenge to you actually achieving your goals. You know, maybe you have a lot of phone calls, or a lot of friends drop by, or you reconnect with people, or they want to go out and have lunch, or let's do dinner, and you find that that is infringing in some way on what it is you want to accomplish. Now, for others of you, and let me backtrack just a little bit, because we had spoken about creativity, which is very enhanced, or, you know, something intellectual. And so this could be a week where you are particularly creative, artistic, or academic in some way. And you could get, you could be in the spotlight for that. Maybe you get some kind of an award, you get a bonus, some kind of special recognition. Maybe even somebody comes back and apologizes to you. Maybe you get vindication for something that happened in the past. Now, for some of you, you are at a distinct crossroads in your relationship, and this means that even if you're in a good relationship, you're likely to encounter some kind of strain or tension within it. This would be the week to air those feelings out rather than hold on to them, pretend they're not there. Because if you repress your emotions, which as an air sign you're prone to do, if you suppress these feelings, it's likely to create more stress and trauma in the relationship than had you actually, you know, confronted your issues and put those feelings out on the table. You also need to understand that if you're feeling any pressure to conform, which likely you are because this Hierophant is underlying your situation, if you're feeling as if you have to live up to someone else's expectations, or be what they think you should be, or conform, or, you know, try to fulfill what another person's dream or projection of you, you're going to find that the relationship suffers for that. Let go of all of that, and you will find that things will move forward more smoothly, and in fact, surprisingly, your relationships will improve. So this is a week for you to be cautious about giving in too easily, being too passive, giving your power over to others, being too jealous, or because you've got so much magnetism, using your charms in a way to convince other people to do what it is that you want to do. You know, using your charm to exploit. So the last week appears to be very, somewhat challenging for you. You have the Five of Swords. And so it could be, though, maybe if you were being too passive or giving over too much, this is a week where you decide, I've had enough. I'm going to act in my own self-interest. I'm going to look out for me. That could be the case for some of you. For others of you, there is some discord, some negative energy that's in the picture, some disturbance in your relationships. You could feel as if you're in a no-win situation. Maybe, somebody is trying to steal your ideas, or maybe you end up feeling as if, you got something that you wanted, but you're left feeling empty. It didn't measure up to what you had hoped. Maybe you're facing some limitations, or you're being manipulated in some way. But on some level, there's some kind of destructive behavior, treachery, or deceit that it's possibly taking place. You are going to be aware, though, of going too far. This is a do-it-yourself card, and so you're going to be aware about pushing the envelope. So whatever you're dealing with, this important choice that you're having to make, a decision, it could be that you have become so frustrated with a situation that's now triggering you to take some matters into your own hands and take care of something that you probably should have taken care of long ago. But again, beware of being impatient. That's going to be an issue for you, or being overconfident. Because if so, you could do something that actually puts you at risk in some way. You could be acting impulsively or foolishly in a situation. For many of you, though, wherever you are in a matter, this is the week where you decide, I'm just going to move forward. If you've had any hesitation in the past, any kind of doubt, you have decided this week that you're going to address a situation and move forward on it, if for no other reason than to allow you to have some kind of peace of mind about it. And in the end, regardless of whatever the response is, you're just going to be satisfied that now you know where you stand, it's out in the open, and things are clear. For some of you, this is a situation where you haven't been paying attention. You maybe have been disregarding other people or a situation. And so this could be a week where if you have been taking something for granted, whether that's a situation, a person, even yourself or your health, this could be a week where something comes up where you get a very strong reality check, and something happens that where even maybe your pride is a little bit wounded. So be careful of being risky. Be mindful of your physical safety. Be careful of taking any new medications or taking the wrong medication, because this is a week where it's possible that something is not quite, on point. And it's possible where it may be challenging. If you have an illness or an ailment, it could be difficult to exactly pinpoint what's going on. For some of you, the issue is that you're too distracted. Maybe you're scattering your energies, and you have so much going on that it's easy to distract you, or you feel annoyed, which ultimately results in some kind of misunderstanding or an accident. Now, the underlying issue for the month is the Hierophant. And this is a card about doing what's expected. And so that may have a connection to whatever dilemma or situation that you're facing, or whatever decision, or this being at a crossroads, because you're having to maybe live up to something that someone is expecting. Maybe you're having to follow the rules. It could be that you're looking for some kind of an advice, or you have some connections to certain doctrines that are accepted by the establishment or society as a whole. Maybe you have connections to a group dynamic. Or maybe you're involved in something that has to do with the traditions of the environment or the community. Maybe this is church or school, the education system, government. But there's some kind of connection, perhaps, maybe to teaching or educating, or those who give advice, or those who hold some kind of authority and pass that knowledge on, leadership in some way. So this month could be very productive for you, uncommonly so. Or whatever it is that you haven't been paying attention to could create some very serious repercussions for you in some way. So this is a month where either professionally or in your private life or in your love life, things are going to step up a notch. It's going to get a little bit more exciting for you, but also a little bit demanding. So this month, you need to be very wise, and this card is a card about wisdom. You need to be very wise in choosing your lovers, your partners, your associates, your friends, because this card frequently shows up when some kind of intrigue or scandal or some kind of accusation or rumor is right on the horizon that may or may not involve you. And you may find that this month you are having to make some important choices, and it's going to be difficult for you to remove yourself from certain situations as quickly as you'd hoped. Now, the good thing is that for some of you, you're going to be able to focus more. We talked about this increased awareness of other people, a greater understanding of those around you. And this is going to allow you to compromise in situations, to come together in partnership, and to relate to the other person's point of view. So this is going to strengthen your relationship with some people. And with other situations, you're going to find that it simplifies things. You know, whatever was complicated between you, you now know where you stand. Now, if you're feeling sort of cheated in some way by some outcomes or some situation that didn't meet your expectation, this is going to make you feel sort of disheartened. But this is likely due to, in some way, something on your part, some shortcoming on your part has contributed to why you're in this position. So whether this is an ongoing inconsistency in your behavior or your communication, you know, by, again, not paying attention or being too distracted or focusing too much on your own interests, this is going to be a challenge for you in some way and to your standing. And it could even affect your finances. So be careful of being, you know, vulnerable to making reckless decisions, dangerous behavior, and make sure that you're looking at the facts and double checking things before you proceed further on a course of action or making a decision. So this could be a month where you may be deciding, depending on how attracted you are to someone or how irritated you are with someone, that could be a factor in convincing yourself that, you know, whatever you do, the end justifies the means. So you're looking closely, probably, you know, on some level conforming to what others feel you should be doing, whether that's society or another person, a relationship, or your own sense of ethics. All right, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I would greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and kind comments. For those of you who have already offered your support, please know that I am especially grateful to you. Have a wonderful July, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.